Hey everyone, I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you have had an incredible week. And for those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, welcome, welcome. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. We are here every single Tuesday live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. For those of you who tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome, welcome. It's great to have you back. Let me know in the chat here where you're tuning in from today. And for those of you watching the replay on YouTube, on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube, welcome. Thanks so much for joining. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. So thanks again for those of you who are starting to join here. We are winding down, you all. Before you know it, we'll be in the new year, which is pretty crazy. I always feel like the end of the year, especially with if you celebrate holidays and that sort of thing, the time just tends to fly by. It seems like, and the next thing you know, we'll be celebrating a new year, which is crazy. But thanks so much again for those who are starting to join here. Louisiana's in the house, Boston, Tampa, Florida. That's my home city right now, area, I should say. Minnesota's in the house, Irvine, California, Savannah, Fayetteville, Virginia, Chicago, San Antonio, Charlotte, first timer, welcome from New Jersey. Actually, I'll be in New Jersey in a couple months at an event. Massachusetts in the house, Queens, Alabama. Thanks so much again for all of you who are starting to join here. I am in the Tampa Bay area of Florida today. It feels like I'm usually in another city, but today I am in the Tampa Bay area, Florida, where I reside. So welcome again. Columbia's in the house. New York City, first time, welcome. Chi-Town, welcome, welcome. So today, so for those of you who are new, because I see a lot of people saying they're first timers here and they're new. First of all, welcome. What Mental Health Moment is all about. We're here again every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. And essentially what this is about, this is a time for you, just a short amount of time for you to carve out. I know we're all busy. I know we all have a million things that we're trying to do, but it's really important too that you're carving out, even if it's a small amount of time, to start for yourself. So this is a time that we work on how do you become the best version of who you are so you can show up for yourself and show up for those around you. So today, welcome again, New Orleans, Papua New Guinea, Flint, Michigan, Maryland, Michigan, California. Welcome, welcome. So today, for those of you who, again, are new, we'll go through a couple of tips to think about. Again, think about wellness, right? Think about how do you become the best version of who you are, and what really helps you in that process, because each and every one of us are different, right? But it's really important. First time again, welcome, welcome. But it's really, again, so important for you to be thinking about what steps do I need to take. So there's three things I'm going to remind you of today as you think about your wellness journey, right? Three things for you to think about what is it for you, and you can answer in the chat if you want to. And also we'll talk about at the end, how do you start to actually implement that? Because it's one thing to know ourselves, which is really important, and to always be assessing what we need, right? Emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. But also, we also have to take action, right? So the first thing to think about today is I want you to think about, where is it for you that brings you peace? Where is it that brings you joy? Maybe it helps you to be productive. Maybe it helps you to be creative. But just the places, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, or actually there's no wrong answer to this. It could be a particular city, but even where you live, right? So some of you go to certain places, you love it there, right? You love it there and it brings you joy and you're so happy and peaceful. But I mean more of like places where you live. So things around you, where is it that you are physically located that brings you peace, that brings you joy? Maybe it helps with your productivity. Again, what places just light you up, right? So let me know in the chat here. Someone said life in Puerto Rico. Welcome, welcome. Chester, Virginia's in the house. Michigan, Jacksonville, Florida. Welcome, welcome. So let me know in the chat where that is for you. And let me share an example with you, that I realized today, even because I'm always looking for things. I am right here on this mental health wellness journey with each and every one of you. I want to say that. Yes, I'm a psychologist. Yes, I've been in mental health for decades, it seems like, and I absolutely love what I do. I love serving and all those great things. But I'm also a human being, just like you. And I'm also, again, on this wellness journey with you. So I'm also answering these questions that a lot of times I'm asking you all to think about as well. So, one of the things that I know that I absolutely love, and many of you may know if you're not in a mental health moment, is I love spending time in nature. I live in Florida, so we have beaches all around us. We just had the beach this past weekend, but we have beaches all around us. We have lakes, we have rivers, we have all these places to spend time in nature. We normally have decent weather unless we're dealing with a hurricane or something like that. But normally the weather is really nice. So, well, really hot, but also really nice some days, depending on the time of day. So, getting outside and spending time in nature is a little bit easier where I live. But also, I love mountains too. So, spending time when I am traveling, seeing mountains, being around mountains, those types of places, right, bring me joy. Also, the little simple things are important too. So today I spent the day because I needed some time, you all. I think some of you may know I'm working on my next book. I am so excited to share it with you all when I'm allowed to and have more details on that. But super excited to share that information as soon as I can. And it's at a place where I can share that information. But nonetheless, I was working on my book today and I decided to go to a coffee shop, right? That's like 20 minutes away from my house. And it was, I mean, it was half the day that I spent there, but for me, it was a really great place because I actually don't love coffee. I love tea. I'm a tea drinker. But nonetheless, there was really no distractions, right? I can kind of tune out the conversations or whatnot around me. So it wasn't my house where I'm finding something else to be doing. Maybe instead of my work, it wasn't necessarily at my office where there may be people that need something from me. It was just a really peaceful time. I had my cup of tea. You guys know I love my tea, right? I had my cup of tea and a snack and all those things and really worked on my book. And that is also on my list of like, where is it that brings you joy? Where is it that brings you peace? Where is it that makes you more creative or productive? All those sorts of things. Coffee shops. Maybe not certain coffee shops. I'm not going to mention any names that are like really crowded. Like that's maybe just too much and too distracting, but just there's calmer places, right? Like a coffee shop, or again, a beach or a mountain or spending time in nature, those sorts of things. So that's what I mean. Those are the examples of when you think of where for you, when you think of the where is it that brings that for you? So um, someone said when I'm at the beach or in nature, similar, I'm sitting in my backyard or sitting in my car alone, beautiful. Someone said sitting at a lake at a local park, beaches on the north shore of Oahu. I think I said that right. Hope I said that right. But Hawaii, I should say. And someone said, me too. I love to go to the mountains in North Carolina. It's so serene. Someone said, I love the fall, the colors. I love fall too, even though in Florida, we don't really have seasons per se. It's usually always hot or maybe slightly cold for Florida. But nonetheless, it is really beautiful in other places that actually have a real fall. Someone says, sitting in my car, going to my favorite coffee shop. Yes, beautiful. Someone said, I love driving through the Northern Virginia mountains. It's calming, peaceful, and I enjoy the majestic scenery, relaxing near natural water where I can hear it, touch it, move it, or watch it move from one end to another. Water, super relaxing, you all, as well. There's plenty of studies too, by the way, on that. Whatever body of water, oh man, I was just reading something the other day, but different types of body of water, it's very soothing for us. Our bodies, of course, are made up of water, right? And so being around water, whether it's lake, ocean, river, whatever it is that's around you, can really be very calming to each and every one of us. So I love that you mentioned that. Someone said right now in Texas, it's a solitude, or San Antonio, Texas, it's a solitude of my car in a park. Wonderful. Someone said, I love the beach, but I'm in Vegas. So I play beach sound waves and have my fan blowing and make believe I'm on the beach. Listen, first of all, kudos, you get the creativity award because sometimes, and I'm really glad you brought that up actually, because sometimes you may be like, man, I wish I was at the beach, but you don't live near a beach, right? You might not be in Florida or California or, wherever it is it's just, the beaches are really accessible, right? In some parts of the country, and some parts not so much. Or maybe you're somewhere else in the world where you're not close to a beach, but but you love beaches and you want to have that experience. So again, just like that person said, listen to beach sounds, right? Listen to sounds of water, listen to waterfalls. Like there's so many ways that we can physically be in that space or mentally be in the physical space that brings us the joy and brings us the relaxation and brings us the peace of mind. Really, really critically important. So either way, there's a lot of studies that also show sometimes your brain doesn't always exactly know the difference, which is it's a good thing depending on what you're dealing with. When you're dealing with something positive, it's a good thing. When it's something negative, like trauma and that sort of thing, it's obviously not a good thing for your brain to think you're in a negative situation. But when you're in a positive situation, or you can't be in the positive thing that brings you joy, when you think about it and visualize it, or use the apps, Calm app, or those sorts of things to get into that mode, it can still be helpful as well. Someone else said, okay. Someone else says, sit at the park in my car. Beautiful. I love sitting in the front of the Mississippi River now at the beginning of fall. Beautiful, beautiful. I love many beaches in Florida. Me too. My backyard under the gazebo and the rocking chair. Fantastic. Someone else said we can just ignore it. You guys just ignore the spam in the comments. I love the beach and the water and walking barefoot in the sand. Wonderful. And welcome from Michigan. And also thunderstorms on YouTube. Listen, whatever it is for you, some of you may be terrified to hear the sound of thunderstorms. Some of you may like that sound. Like it is what for you works for you, right? So the first thing today was the where. The second thing is who, right? So first thing is where. These are not in any particular order, but there's three things. The second thing is who. So who is it for you that brings you joy? Who is it that inspires you? Who is it that motivates you? What type of people do you like to be around? Who is helpful to you, right? So who is helpful to you? So let me know in the chat. Someone else says, I'm an hour away from the beach. When I can't get there, I sit outside and watch old videos of the ocean. I bring the ocean sound to me. I love it. I love it. You all, this is a true story. When I was in graduate school, y'all are gonna laugh at me, but when I was in graduate school, a very, very long time ago, decades ago, when I first started graduate school, I always knew that I really wanted to travel, but way back then I was in my early 20s and did not have the funds to be traveling the world and all that sort of thing. So for some of you, you may not know what this is, but if you're slightly older, you may know there's something called DVDs. So back then I would literally take DVDs and just play them and just pretend like I was in all these different countries throughout the world that I wanted to visit, like on all these different beaches, like just looking at that type of scenery. It was something that was very calming to me. And now, fast forward, currently, I've actually been to a lot of those places. So again, it really doesn't matter whether you're physically there or whether you're watching things to just to be in that space, that mental space. The most important thing for you is to know the where. So thanks for sharing that. And for the who question now, someone said Jesus and my son. Someone said my children and my sisters, as well as my grandbabies. Someone said my two children, memorable conversations I had with my granny. And someone else was saying out in nature or on a cruise ship. Beautiful. So again, the second part of today was thinking about the who. Who is it for you, or what type of people? Right. So for me, my type of people that bring me joy, that inspire me, that motivate me are people who are very positive. That is like so exciting for me when I'm around people who are positive, when I'm around people who are inspirational, when I'm around people that are just doing amazing things right now. I can honestly say I've been incredibly blessed. Like the people, like the different communities that I'm a part of, the coaches that I have in my life, and just all these amazing people that I've been around the past couple of years, especially. Like I'm so grateful for them, right? Because they inspire me and they motivate me, and they're just amazing people doing great things in the world. But those are people who I love to be around, right? Positive people, inspiring people, trying to help people, people doing amazing, great things. So someone said, I like to be around people that tells the truth. People who motivates me is my brother. Beautiful. People who motivate me to be an entrepreneur. Magnificent. Someone said manifestation is so powerful. Thanks for sharing. It's very powerful, you all. We're going to do another mental health moment about that. But I would just say, as an aside, because you brought that up, I mean, oh man, never mind. I'll save it for another mental health moment. But yes, manifestation is very powerful and very real. We'll have to do a whole nother mental health moment about that. Someone said God is first all the time. Fantastic. Someone said my children. I love hanging out with my granddaughter and my daughter. My type of people are positive and funny. Yes, that too. Very important. Humor. If you can't laugh, I mean, whew, life gets rough sometimes, right? You all, I mean, things pop up. Like we go through our hard times, we go through our dark times. So when you have people, whether it's someone in your life, whether it's watching a movie or watching a comedy special, whatever it is, like where you can just laugh and have the time to have that laughter, which can be really healing. It's really important too. So thank you for bringing that up. Someone said, my children, my grandbaby, and positive, happy people motivate me. Beautiful. My husband and daughter bring out the best in me. Fantastic. That's good. That's good. Because that's actually you're answering my next question. I'm gonna read yours in a second. So okay, so again, so the first thing to think about today was the where. Where is it for you that you feel motivated, you feel inspired, you feel peaceful, you feel creative? Like where are those spaces, right? It could be right in your backyard. Somebody else said my backyard. Cool. Literally that counts. Some of you may not, it may be a room in your and where you live, right? Or it may be the coffee shop, like I mentioned, or it may be the beaches or the mountains or somewhere else outside of where you live. No right or wrong answer. Or again, mentally, you can go to that physical place by listening to sounds, by watching things on YouTube, or however you gather your information. The second thing was the who. So for those of you who are just joining, we're talking today again about how to become the best version of who you are. What are things you need to start doing? What are steps you need to start taking? The first thing is to think about, again, the where. The second thing was a who, and I know many of you mentioned the who. And then the third thing to think about today is the what, right? And so now I'm going to read some of your other comments because you already started putting that in there. But what is it for you? So what motivates you? What is it that inspires you? What is it that brings you peace? What is it that brings you joy? What is it that brings you relaxation? Right? So for me, some of the things that put me in that space is listening to positive podcasts. With my Instagram channel, I make sure, yes, I have the news feeds, all the negativity and all that, but I also have a lot of positive content on there too. A lot of people who are positive, a lot of people that I follow and organizations that I follow who are posting positive things or positive quotes or whatever it is. And usually I'm sharing those in my stories, but being uplifted and being inspired and being motivated and all those things don't just pop up for us. We have to go to something, right? So the what is, again, for myself, positive things on social media. It's also growing as a person, the podcast, self-help books, doing my devotionals in the morning. Some of you already know, for spiritual growth, working out. Like there's a lot of what's, right? And again, there's no right or wrong answer. So put yours in the chat, but there's no right or wrong answer for this. The one of the biggest things when it comes to growth is you have to know yourself, and who you are today probably wasn't who you were 10 years ago, and it's probably not who you're going to be 10 years from now. It just doesn't work like that. We have different needs, we have different responsibilities, we have different lives. So my son is 11 years old. I absolutely adore him. He's amazing. But life, 12 years ago, before there was no child in my life, like the things I wanted, my life was different, right? And now it's different. And 10 years from now, when maybe he's in college or whatever he's doing post high school, like it's going to be different again, right? Like we have different needs, different wants, different things that we need for ourselves to grow emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, depending on what path, what season of your life you're in. So we all have different paths, and that's okay. Someone said, let me see. Someone says, I find myself listening to a ton of motivational podcasts when I want to get into a positive headspace. I need to add that short list soon. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yes. Be in a space. You all, this is really, so I love doing mental health moment with each and every one of you. I want to say that, but I also want to remind you, this is really a lifelong commitment. All the things that I'm sharing with you today, all the things that I share with you each and every week, my grandest dream is for you to take this information, yes, implement it, start thinking about these things in your life, doing them, taking action steps. But at some point, for something to click in your brain and that light bulb goes off where you go, you know what? I just made myself my highest priority and I'm making a lifelong commitment to this. This isn't just for a day. This isn't just when I listen to Mental Health Moment. This isn't just for a week or a month or a year. No, it's a lifetime commitment that you're going to make to these things. So I love that. Yes, make your list, you all. If you're a podcast, if you like to listen to podcasts, some of you may like to receive information in that way or not. Again, do what works for you. Someone said the type of people that enjoy being around are those people who know how to openly communicate good vibes only. I love that. Yes, good vibes only. Actually, where is it? I have it right here. Yes. Good vibes only. I'm all about that life too. I got you. Someone said, I love hanging out with my grandkids. Beautiful. People that have positive energy that you can feel when they enter the room. They don't even have to say anything. You just feel it. Yes. Have you all ever been in a room full of people and there's just certain people that just really make you happy and just really light you up and they're like a ray of sunshine and they're just great to be around. They're really positive energy. That's important, especially for you specifically when you feel that type of positive energy from that person. That's really important. It's telling you something about yourself. Yes, you need that positive energy, which there's nothing wrong with that. We all need positive energy, frankly. Someone said happy, encouraging, inspirational people. Beautiful. Someone said positive, honest, and uplifting people are priceless to me. Wonderful. And then for the what, someone says coloring and reading the word of God. Beautiful. I find peace when I make other people feel joy within. Fantastic. Podcasts are uplifting. Absolutely. Someone said listening to gospel music, preaching, motivational speakers, empowering conferences. Fantastic podcast. I'm seeing a theme with podcasts, y'all. I might be starting one next year, but I'll get back to that later. I got a lot on my plate already for 2024, so we'll see, but that might be in the works. But I love podcasts too. Devotional time, reading books, listening to jazz, cooking, spending time with my kids, and learning new things. Uh, Someone said in the chat, you are right. 10 years ago, I didn't have all these body aches. LOL. You know what? Listen, listen, you all. It's all good. It doesn't matter. Mental health moment is for every single age, by the way. It doesn't matter if you're a child listening to this. It doesn't matter if you're 95 years old listening to this and everybody in between. This is for every single person. And yes, some of us change physically, right? Like you said, you may be going through a time where you're like, man, I got some more body aches. I got some more stuff going on. But then certain things you have to adjust, right? Like physical goals, you may have to adjust a little bit, and that's okay. But it's again it's most important for you to think about asking yourself these questions, answering them honestly with yourself. And then the next step of this, you all, is starting to really try to have these things in your life as often as you can, right? Does it make your problems go away? No. Is it curing any depression, anxiety, or anything else? No, it's not. However, though, when you work on yourself, when you work on what are your needs, what is it that lifts you up? What is it that makes you the best version of who you are? What is it that makes you into a calm, peaceful state? You can work on trying your best to prevent some of the sadness or grief or anxiety or whatever it is that you may be going through. Again, this is absolutely not a cure. This is not taken away from mental health help that you may need depending on your situation. It's always important to reach out to a mental health professional when needed. All of this information is more supplemental, but for you to be thinking about whether or not you're experiencing any of those things, right? You may be good. You may be at a great point. Maybe you're not at a dark point. You're like, man, life is good. Things are going great. Still put these things into place. If you're like, man, I'm in a dark spot, like this is hard, still put these things in place, right? We always need to be thinking about taking care of our mental health. Yeah, someone said, I need to wrap up these humanitarian issues resolved or feel I cannot move on. Okay. I've started praying more, getting closer to God. Beautiful. I help others as my strength. I'm working on my nonprofit. Yay. Congratulations. I'm already doing it. That's fantastic. Someone said positively and generally being honest or trustworthy is important. Fantastic. Writing stories that inspire people, listening to motivational speakers who are encouraging and reading my Bible. Fantastic. Being of service to others. So important. There's actually a whole chapter, spoiler alert, a whole chapter in the book. Oh my God, I'm going to tell you guys too much about the book. I'm not supposed to be talking this much about it yet. But yes, being of service, extremely, extremely important. We've done multiple mental health moments about that, about how giving back is really, really important for your mental health. And you're helping others. So it's a win-win. Uh, Someone said, every day I post positive affirmations. I'm a singer and I'm doing online shows, giving people platforms for their music or business. Fantastic. Thank you for doing that. Someone said they're laughing at the body pain situation. Listen, we all, I don't know how old you guys are. You don't have to put that in the chat. But by the way, your ages, but it happens, right? We're going to get older. We're going to have the bodies. We're going to have the pain. The biggest thing, again, no matter what your age is or what you're going through, your physical abilities, again, these questions you answer for you, what you're able to do, what you're willing to do, and what helps you the most, right? What inspires you the most? Someone said, put God first, giving back to others, self-care, traveling, and eating healthy. I'm loving all of that. So important. Staying busy helps mental health hand in hand. Absolutely. Uh, Someone said, what is the title of the book? Yes. Okay. So again, I have a new book that will be coming out, but I actually don't even have the title yet. Because when I write books, I really like to have it like 99% done, edited, that sort of thing, and then throw a title on it. So I'm pretty much getting very close to the 99% done with it part and getting it to an editor and all that sort of thing. So though, when I do have a title, you guys will know. I promise you I will let you know that. But I don't have it yet, but I'm super, super excited about this book. I'm just so excited to share when I can. But someone said the talent is to stay positive when your old friends try to keep you in that mode. Love them at a distance and move forward to your God-given destiny. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so you all, as I wrap up here, if you need me at any time, you can always reach out, drnikishahammond.com. You can always connect with me on Instagram, dr.hammond, or Facebook, Dr. Nikisha Hammond. LinkedIn, Dr. Nikisha Hammond, or Twitter, Dr._Hammond. So you can find me on any social media platform. I'm usually sharing some resource or another about mental health. What I want you to do now that you know, many of you put it in the chat, your answers. Thank you for doing that for you, right? Not for me, for you. But now that you know these answers, now that you've had a short amount of time just to think about those things, like the who, the what, the where, what is it for you, right? Then the next step is, now you know, right? You know what it is. Now the next step is to do. The next step is to implement. How do I incorporate these things more in my life? The who, how do I surround myself? A lot of you said your children or your grandchildren or positive people. Like how do you have more time, right? How do you choose to spend more time with those individuals that bring you joy, right? I mean, I know some of you may be like, man, I live kind of far from my grandkids, but are you able to talk with them, on like through a Zoom or a FaceTime or some sort of way, or even on the phone, or mail them a letter, whatever it is, like how are you able to communicate more with them, right? The same thing with the what, the same thing with the where. How are you able to put yourself in those places and spaces so that you can elevate your mood, so that you can work through whatever it is that you're working through right now? And again, this is not a cure. This is absolutely not a cure. So if you're like, Dr. Hammond, I have been trying for X amount of time, for months, years, weeks, and things are really just hard right now, then you may need to reach out to a mental health professional, and it's completely okay. You're allowed to do that. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be emotionally healthy. You deserve to have joy in your life. You deserve all of those things, right? But do what you need to do for you. Someone said, I'm excited. Me too. Me too. Yeah, someone said that, yeah, stress is, yeah, truth of the matter is a lot of us have a lot of stressors. We absolutely do. Um, some things are outside of our control. Actually, a lot of things are outside of our control, but there's also a lot of things that are within our control. So us having hope, us having faith, us doing our best to try to keep going. Those are the things we have control over. We don't always have control of what life brings to us, but we can do our best to grow as a person so we can handle everything that life may throw at us. So again, if you need me, you know how to reach me, drnikishahammond.com. Connect with me on social media. More than happy to get you any resources if you need them related to mental health in your area. I will be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Black Women Powered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Have an absolutely amazing week. Be sure to remember your what, your who, and your where. Implement those things in your life. And I wish you well, and I'll see you next week. Bye, you guys.